So we're just gonna start in a comfortable seat though, any position that you'd like. I'm gonna sit cross-legged, weight set up, whatever feels good. If you have blankets or pillows around that you wanna use, feel free to grab those. And then maybe shrugging the shoulders a couple times, letting the head fall from side to side, getting any little kinks out. And then starting to let the body come to stillness, letting the eyes close or just gazing softly down in front of you. Just noticing whatever's coming up here, not feeling any need to change something, not making any judgments or getting attached to any feeling or thought. Letting everything wash over you like a wave, coming and going as it's ready. Trying not to force anything. Noticing the quality of the breath, if it feels fast or slow. Any areas that you feel the breath in the body, if you feel it in the chest, if you feel it in the belly. And starting to invite a deeper breath when you're ready. Inhaling into the low belly, letting it expand up through the side ribs. And finally lifting into the chest. And then exhale, letting the chest, the side ribs, and the belly ease out. Inhale, filling the body up with breath, feeling the crown of the head reach up a little higher towards the ceiling. And with your exhale, feeling yourself settle into your seat, noticing whatever's coming in contact with the mat or the floor. Inhale, letting the body expand. And exhale, letting yourself settle. Breathing in and out through the nose. Trying to create an equal length of breath on the inhales and on the exhales. Letting it be long and intentional. And coming back to this throughout the practice. Moving at your own pace. Adding in anything that would feel really good. Taking out anything that doesn't feel good in your body. Letting this be your own practice. Here I am. Taking a couple more breaths here, really tapping into that rhythm. I've been here for far too long. There's so much more than this I know. And when you're ready, starting to open the eyes if they're closed. And on an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. And on an exhale, taking a gentle twist towards your right. Maybe gazing over the right shoulder. With each inhale, feel the crown of the head reach up a little bit higher. With each exhale, letting yourself sink into the twist. Taking one more breath here. And on your next inhale, start to sweep the arms back up through center. And exhale, twisting to the other side. Gaze might follow the left shoulder. And with your inhale, finding a little more length. With your exhale, settling in. Feeling how the breath moves in this twist. And taking one more breath on the left side. And then inhale, sweeping the arms back up through center. Exhaling, the hands come out to T, reaching the fingertips away from one another, still drawing the shoulder blades down and back. Letting the fingertips reach a little bit farther, maybe looking up towards the ceiling, taking a slight back bend. Feeling the shoulder blades support the upper body. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale, lifting yourself back up to center. Drawing the right arm in front of you, letting the left arm come underneath. You can take opposite shoulders here. You could bring the backs of the palms together or bring the palms all the way together. Wherever you are, pulling the elbows away from you, pulling them up so that they're in line with the chin. Feeling the space in between the shoulder blades here, sending the breath into the back side of the body. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to open the arms back out to T, feeling the fingertips reach away from one another. And then second side, bringing the left arm in front, letting the right arm come underneath. Same options, you could take the shoulders, you could let the backs of the palms come to touch, or the palms. Once you found that position, letting the elbows reach farther away, keeping them lifted up towards the chin, and then focusing on the sensation in the back side of the body. Seeing if you can send the breath in between the shoulder blades, letting it expand with each inhale. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to extend the arms back out to T, reaching the fingertips away from each other one more time. And then exhaling, the hands come down in front of you, rolling over the legs, moving through table, maybe taking a couple cat-cows, but eventually landing in downward facing dog. We'll take about 5 or 6 breaths, so there's no rush to get there. And as you do arrive, you can pedal out the feet, shift the hips from side to side. Check in with how the backs of the legs are feeling, with how the wrists are feeling, the shoulders. And making any adjustments now and throughout the class that would make this pose useful for you tonight. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then taking as many steps as you can to walk the feet up in between the hands. Bending your knees as you need to. And then inhale, lifting up halfway when you get there, reaching the crown of the head forward. And exhale, folding in, letting yourself hang over the legs, maybe grabbing opposite elbows or behind the legs. Releasing the head down, letting the back of the neck be long. And taking another breath here. And then releasing any arm position that you have and starting to come up to stand. Pushing the feet down into the ground, reaching the arms up overhead. And exhale, releasing the arms down by your sides. From here, inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, the arms come out to T. Again, reaching the fingers away, drawing the shoulder blades in and down the back. Starting to tilt back into the shelf of the shoulders, trying not to dump into the low back. Gazing up towards the ceiling, opening up through the front side of the body. Taking one more breath here. Inhale, lifting back up to center. Bring the right arm in front, left arm comes underneath. Opposite shoulders, backs of the hands to touch or palms to touch. Making sure to keep a slight engagement in the low belly so that you don't tilt the pelvis forward. Imagining it's like a bowl and you're trying not to spill the water in the bowl. Still pulling the elbows away from you, lifting them up towards your chin. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to release the arms back out to T, opening up through the chest. And then starting to bring the left arm in front, right arm comes underneath. Opposite shoulders, backs of the hands to touch, palms to touch. Re-engaging into the low belly, feeling as if the hip points could hug up towards the low ribs tucking in towards the hip points. And then from there, focusing on the arms, pulling the elbows away from you, lifting them up. Taking one more breath here. Extending the arms back out to T. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, taking the left hand to the outside of the right leg, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, coming into a twist. Maybe putting a bend into the left knee, drawing yourself a little deeper into the twist. Maybe feeling some sensation in the right IT band. Reaching the right fingertips up a little bit higher. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, taking the right hand to the outside of the left leg, reaching the left arm up, coming into a twist. Again, option to put a bend into that right knee. Noticing how that changes your twist or where you feel it. Reaching the left fingertips up a little bit higher. And then exhale, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, stepping the right foot to the back of the mat. Lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. On an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Relaxing the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Stepping into the left foot, keeping that leg engaged. From here, dropping the left hand down behind the back. Right hand can come to the left elbow. Option to leave the right hand where it is or to reach it behind the back. Palm facing away from you. You might be able to touch fingertips to one another. And here, also keeping that engagement in the low belly. Trying not to arch through the low back. And taking one more breath here. Exhale, releasing the arms down to either side of the foot. You might want your cups here as you start to straighten out through the front legs, sending the hips back. Hands could come down to your cups or they could come down to the mat. Sending the hips back, reaching the chest forward, flexing through the left foot. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to bend back into the left leg, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, letting the hands come down to either side of your foot. Tucking the back toes under, lifting the back leg up, stepping the left foot back to meet the right. Moving through your vinyasa, lowering yourself down. Inhale, lifting into your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back behind you. Stepping the right foot in between the hands. Lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. On an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. And taking a breath or two to settle in here. Releasing the shoulders. Engaging the front leg, pressing the right foot firmly down. And then letting the right hand come behind the back. Left hand can come to the right elbow, gently pushing it down. Also, option to swing the left hand behind the back, palm facing away from you. Maybe the fingertips will touch. Taking another breath here. And then starting to release the arms down to either side of the foot or to your cups. Starting to shift the hips back, straightening out through the right leg, flexing the right toes back towards you. Feeling the chest reach forward. Feeling the length from the tailbone all the way out through the crown of the head. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to bend back into the right knee, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the foot, tucking the back toes and lifting the back leg, stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, stepping the left foot to the back of the mat. Lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhaling, the right hand come down behind the back. Bringing the left hand either to the elbow or sweeping it behind the back for the fingertips to touch. Maybe letting the hips sink a little closer towards the right heel. Taking one more breath here. And then releasing the arms, reaching both up overhead. Letting the left hand come down towards the side. It could come to the mat or it could come to a cup as you reach the right fingertips over towards your left. Opening up through the right side of the body. Taking one more breath in the fold. Inhale, lifting yourself back up to center. Letting the hands come down to frame the foot, to the cups or to the mat. Straightening out through the front leg, sending the hips back, reaching the chest forward. And taking one more breath here. And then bending back into the right knee, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhaling, the hands come down to either side of the foot, tucking the back toes, lifting the back leg, stepping the right foot back to meet the left, moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, inhaling the left leg behind you, stepping the left foot forward in between the hands, lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. On an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. On an exhaling, the left hand come down the back. Right hand can come to the elbow or reach behind for the left fingertips. Taking a couple breaths here, seeing if the hips will sink a little deeper down. Noticing if you feel any more openness in the body. And then on your next inhale, releasing the arms, reaching both of them back up overhead. And then starting to bring the right hand down, reaching the left fingertips up and over. Breathing into the left side of the body. And taking one more breath in the fold. And inhale, lifting up to center. Letting the hands come down to either side of the foot. Starting to shift the hips back, straightening out through the left leg. Sending the chest forward. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to bend back into the left foot. Sweeping the arms up overhead. Bringing the hands down to either side of the foot. Tucking the back toes and lifting the back leg. Stepping the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, moving back to plank. Lowering yourself down. Inhale, lifting into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here. And 2. And 1. Starting to look forward, bringing the feet up in between the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. One more time through that. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, full planting the hands, moving back to plank. Lowering yourself down. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. And taking 3 breaths here. Pressing the palms down, spreading the fingers wide. Letting the heels drop down towards the ground. Maybe lifting the hips up a little bit higher. Taking 1 more breath here. And then starting to look forward, bringing the feet up in between the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. From here, inhale, bending into the knees, sweeping the arms up, sitting back into chair. Starting to shift the weight into the left foot and crossing the right ankle over top the left thigh, coming into figure 4. Letting the hips sink down as low as it feels good to get a stretch in the outer right hip. Flexing through the right foot to help protect the right knee. Arms could stay overhead. They could also come down to heart center or anywhere else that would feel good. Taking 1 more breath here. And then starting to stand up, hugging the right knee in towards the chest. From here, stepping the right foot back, landing in high crescent lunge, reaching the fingertips up overhead. Opening up warrior 2, reaching the fingertips away from each other, bending into the left knee. Taking a breath here. And then starting to tilt back, reversing your warrior, reaching the left fingertips overhead, keeping the bend in the left knee. 1 more breath here. And then exhale, bring the hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bring the feet up in between the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, bending into the knees, sweeping the arms up, sitting back into chair. From here, starting to shift the weight into the right foot, coming onto the toes of the left, and then starting to pick the left foot up so that you can cross it over top the right thigh. Coming as deep into this as you would like. Noticing how this side feels compared to the first. Maybe leaving the arms overhead, maybe taking them somewhere else. Flexing through the left foot. Taking 1 more breath here. And then starting to stand up, hugging the left knee into the chest. Stepping the left foot back behind you, landing in high crescent lunge. From here, opening up warrior 2, grounding the back foot, bending into the right knee, reaching the fingertips away from one another, but pulling the shoulder blades down and in. And taking another breath here. Starting to tilt back, reaching the right arm overhead, keeping the lower half of your body just as it was in warrior 2. 1 more inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, shifting back out into plank. And then from plank, lowering down to your forearms, coming into a low plank. Taking a breath here. And then starting to lower the hips all the way down, keeping the elbows underneath the shoulders, pressing the forearms down, pressing the palms down. Imagining that you could drag your chest through the upper arms. And staying right here, or taking the hands out at about a 45-degree angle, pressing into the palms, you can lift the chest up a little bit higher. Taking one more breath wherever you are. And then starting to release yourself all the way down to your mat. Taking the right arm out to the side. Starting to take the left hand so that it's underneath the left shoulder. And then starting to peel yourself open towards the right. Maybe stacking the legs on top of one another. Maybe stacking the left foot behind the body. Also, option to add in the left arm. Left arm could reach back behind you. Maybe the right fingertips grab it. Taking one more breath where you are. And then starting to come back to your belly. Bringing the right arm in. Extending the left arm out to the side. And then starting to push into that right hand. Feeling yourself open towards the left. Maybe stacking the legs on top of one another or stepping the right foot behind the body. And then also the option to reach the right arm over as well. Maybe the fingertips touch it. Letting your breath stay steady here. Breathing into whatever sensation you're feeling. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to release, coming back to your belly. Letting the elbows come back underneath the shoulders, pressing the forearms down, pressing the palms down. From here, tucking the toes under, starting to lift the body back up, coming into a low plank. From here, starting to walk the feet in, lifting the hips up, coming into dolphin. Trying to get the hips as close to on top of the shoulders as you can, walking the feet in as much as possible. Taking another breath here. And then walking the feet back out to low plank. Taking a breath here. And then starting to walk the feet back in, coming back into dolphin. And then from here, pressing into the hands, straightening the arms, lifting yourself up into downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back behind you. Stepping the right foot in between the hands. Raising up, high crescent lunge. From here, starting to bring the arms out to T, reaching the fingertips away from one another. Hugging the shoulders in, letting that support you as you start to tilt back, lifting the chest and lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to lift back up. Bring the right arm in front of you, left arm comes underneath. Option to grab opposite elbows or opposite shoulders. Backs of the hands, palms to touch. And maybe the shoulders and the arms feel a little more open now. You don't have to stay with the same grip throughout the practice. Lifting the shoulders up, or lifting the elbows up and away, breathing into the back side of the body. Taking one more breath here. And then start to release the arms, opening up, warrior two. From here, inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle. Option for the right forearm to come to the thigh. Hand could come to the inside of the foot, or it could come to a cup inside the foot. Reaching the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, or reaching them towards the front of the room. Turning the pinky side edge of the hand down. Taking one more breath here. And then exhale, bring both hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. And as you arrive in downward facing dog, inhaling the left leg back behind you. Stepping the left foot forward in between the hands. On an inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. From here, opening the arms out to T. Locking the shoulders in, and then starting to lift the chest, lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling. Feeling the inner thighs hug towards one another to help keep the lower body stable. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale, lifting up to center. Bring the left arm in front, right arm comes underneath. Any arm position that feels good. Focusing on keeping the elbows lifted and feeling the space in the back side of the body. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to open up, warrior two, releasing the arms. Reversing your warrior, tilting back. And then exhale, coming into side angle. Option to bring the forearm to the thigh, hand to the inside of the foot or to a block. Right fingertips either reaching straight up towards the ceiling or bringing that arm alongside the ear, reaching the pinky edge down towards the floor, externally rotating through the upper arm. Taking one more breath here. Exhale, releasing both hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back behind you. Stepping the foot forward in between the hands. You can leave your hands down on the mat or grab your cups. Focusing on reaching the left heel back, reaching the crown of the head forward, finding as much length in the body as you can. And then from here, starting to straighten out through the right leg. You could leave the sole of the foot on the ground, or you could roll back onto your heel. For a little bit of a calf stretch, you can reach the left heel down towards the back of your mat. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to bend back into the right knee. Sweep your arms up overhead, high crescent lunge. From here, opening the arms out to T. Taking a slight back bend. Then inhale, lifting back up. Letting the right arm come out in front. Left arm comes underneath, taking any arm position that feels good. From here, we're going to step forward into figure four. So starting to shift the weight into the right foot, lifting the back leg up, crossing the left ankle over top the thigh. Sinking down as deep as you would like. Once you find your legs, not forgetting about the arms, continuing to lift the elbows up and away from you. And taking one more breath here. And starting to release this back into high crescent lunge. Arms come overhead, left foot steps back. Opening up warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping back to plank, moving through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. As you arrive in downward facing dog, inhale the left leg back, stepping the left foot forward in between the hands. Again, hands could stay on the ground or they could come to your cups. First, just finding some length here, reaching the right heel back, reaching the crown of the head forward. Taking one more breath in the lunge. And then starting to straighten out through the left leg, keeping the foot on the ground or rolling back onto the left heel. Try to keep the left hip tucked in as you do this, not letting it jut out to the side. Letting the right heel sink down towards the back of your mat. Taking one more breath here. And then bending back into the left leg, sweeping the arms up overhead. From here, letting the arms come out to T. Tilting back for a breath, opening up through the chest. And then lifting back up to stand. Letting the left hand come in front, right arm comes underneath, taking your arm position. Lifting up through the elbows, pulling them away from you. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to transition into figure four, shifting the weight forward into the left leg, taking the right foot up so that you can cross it over top the left thigh. Focusing on the legs at first, settling down into your hip stretch, and then re-engaging the arms, reaching the elbows up and away, creating space in the back side of the body. Taking one more breath here, and then starting to release into high crescent, releasing the arms, reaching them overhead, stepping the right foot back, landing and then opening up into warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down to either side of the foot. Moving back to plank, vinyasa or not to downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, bring the knees down, coming into table. From here, inhale, reaching the right arm up into the side. And then threading it through behind the left wrist, coming down to rest on the right shoulder, letting the side of the head rest on the ground as well. And options to just stay here. You can also extend the left arm out any amount. You could extend the left leg back. You could play with floating either the leg or the arm. Wherever you want to be, staying with your breath, noticing how it's moving through the body right now. Taking one more breath in your twist. If anything's lifted, starting to bring it back down. Bring the left hand back underneath the shoulder, pressing into the left hand, reaching the right arm back up and towards the ceiling. And then exhale, releasing the right hand down. And second side, starting to sweep the left arm up and open. And then threading it through behind the right wrist, coming down onto the left shoulder and the side of the head. Finding this twist first, and then if you'd like to take it anywhere else, you could extend the right arm, you could extend the right leg. You could lift either of those up as well, working on your balance, or just staying with the twist. Letting this be your time to reconnect with the breath, slowing it down if it got sped up. Taking one more breath on this side, bringing the limbs down if they're lifted, starting to bring the right hand back underneath the right shoulder, pressing into the hand, starting to reach the left arm back up and open, and then setting the left hand down. From here, sending yourself back into downward facing dog, and then eventually making your way up into a forward fold at the top of your mat. From there, inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. And exhale, releasing them down by your sides. So from here, coming back into chair pose, bending into the knees, sweeping the arms up. And shifting the weight into the left foot. And I'm not mirroring you, so it'll be opposites, but we're gonna do both sides, so it doesn't matter. Starting to cross your right ankle over top the left leg, coming into figure four. Starting to bring the arms out to T. Left arm comes in front, right arm comes underneath, taking your arm position. Option to leave the legs just as they are. You could also start to cross the right leg further over, maybe the toes tap down outside the ankle. Could also leave the toes lifted, or wrap it around to the inside of the ankle, coming into eagle. Once the legs are set, refocusing on the arms, bringing the elbows up. Great, taking one more breath here. And keeping the arms as they are, starting to unwrap the legs, hugging the right knee into the chest. Starting to send the right leg behind you, tilting the torso forward, leaning into warrior three. Reaching the crown of the head forward, reaching the right heel back. Taking one more breath here. And then touching the back toes down, releasing the arms, reaching up, high crescent lunge. Opening up, warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle, whatever version you would like. And taking a breath here. And then starting to let the right hand come down, pivoting onto the back toes, reaching the left arm up, coming into a twist, pulling the left hip back, reaching the left fingertips up. Taking another breath here. And then starting to roll to the pinky edge of the right foot, working the left foot back. Eventually stepping it all the way back, coming into side plank. Reaching the left fingertips up a little bit higher. And then exhale, releasing the hand down, coming into plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, making your way back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. And then second side, starting to bend into the knees, coming back into chair. This time shifting the weight into the left foot, coming onto the toes of the right. Just kidding, shifting it into the right foot, coming onto the toes of the left. And crossing the left ankle over top the thigh. From here, starting to extend the arms out. Bringing the right arm in front of you, left arm comes underneath, finding the arm position here. And then if you'd like to take the legs any further, you can. Starting to slide the left foot down the outside of the right leg. Toes might touch down for balance. Could keep them lifted. Or you could hug the foot to the inside of the leg. Finding your legs and then refocusing on the arms. Good, taking one more breath here. And then keeping the arms, starting to unwind the legs, hugging the left knee up into the chest, and then sending it back behind you as the torso tilts forwards, coming into warrior three. Reaching the crown of the head forward, left heel reaches back. Taking one more breath here. And then setting the back toes down, releasing the arms, reaching them up, high crescent lunge. Opening up warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle. Any version that feels good in your body. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, letting the left hand come down, turning onto the left toes, reaching the right fingertips up. Feeling the right hip hug in. Feeling the right fingertips reach up a bit higher. And letting the left pinky edge side of the foot come down on the left foot and starting to wiggle the right foot back. Eventually wiggling it all the way back, coming into side plank. Reaching the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Taking one more breath here. And then bringing the right hand down, coming into plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back behind you. And drawing the right leg forward for pigeon, taking the ankle over towards the left wrist, taking the knee over towards the right. Letting the hips sink back. If this doesn't feel good in your knee or your hip or your ankle, you can always come into figure four. If pigeon does feel okay, finding a little bit of length in the body and then letting yourself fold forward, maybe making a pillow with your hands, or using an actual pillow if you have one close by. Letting yourself sink in. Seeing what you can release here. Any tension in the jaw, in the shoulders, between the eyebrows. Allowing whatever feelings and sensations are coming up. And taking a few more breaths on this side. At your own pace, starting to work your way out of it and transitioning into the left side. You could move through a full vinyasa. You could move straight through downward facing dog. You could just roll to the outside of the hip and swing the other leg in front. Whatever would be best for you to get there. And as you come into the second side, taking your time to find it, taking just as much as the first side. Maybe this side, it doesn't feel good in the knee or the hip. You can always come into figure four, seated or lying down. And then starting to settle in when you arrive. Going through the process again, releasing any muscles that don't need to be working here. Letting yourself melt into this pose. Taking a few more breaths here, staying as long as you'd like. Eventually starting to work yourself out of it. Again, option for one last vinyasa if you would like it, but we'll all meet on our backs when you're ready. When you arrive, if it would feel good, hugging the knees into the chest, maybe rolling them in circles, massaging out the low back. Rock from side to side or up and down. And then eventually letting the soles of the feet come down to the ground. Bringing the heels in as close to the hips as you can. Letting the arms come alongside you. Pressing the arms down, pressing the feet into the mat. On an inhale, starting to lift the hips up, coming into a back bend. Pressing the feet down, maybe rolling the shoulders underneath you a little more as you lift up. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Starting to release yourself back down. Taking a breath here. And then we'll come into one more. You could leave the arms the same as they are. You could also bring them so that the palms face one another, fingertips facing up towards the ceiling. And again, pressing into the feet, pressing into the upper arms or the entire arm if they're down. Letting the shoulders roll underneath you, opening through the chest a little bit more. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Starting to lower yourself back down. Maybe taking the feet about mass width distance apart, letting the knees fall in towards one another, neutralizing the spine. And then you can let the knees windshield wiper from side to side, going as fast or as slow as you would like. And then from here, anything else that you would like to finish out your practice, anything that will help get your body ready for stillness. If you're ready to head straight there, feel free to. When everything feels complete, trying to set yourself up in any position that would allow you to rest for the next few moments, that allows your body to be at ease. And I'll bring you out of Shavasana when it's time. Starting to notice your breath, how it feels moving through the body. If anything feels different in your body than when you first started. Just allowing yourself this time to notice, knowing that you don't have to do anything. When you feel ready for movement, you can invite it into the body, moving in whatever way makes the most sense for you. Eventually letting the movements bring you to a comfortable seat, taking your time to get there. And when you arrive, starting to sweep your arms up overhead. Exhaling, the hands come down through your heart center. Take this time to thank yourselves for practicing. And I thank all of you. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.